Since the philosophy course has started, we have read various different texts from various different philosophers. And two of the biggest philosophers that have stood out are Plato and Aristotle. Some of Plato's big ideas are one, reforming society. And by this he means that individuals should be able to expand and broaden their horizons, so broaden their minds. And he questions the ability of us to live and our reality. So in order for us to be able to reform society, we have to be able to make the tough decisions and actually broaden our horizons instead of staying in a little box, or else we'll never be able to reform our society in order for it to reach its full potential. And the second big idea, is questions and think. By this he means that despite asking a question and you're looking for an answer, just because you have one answer, that doesn't necessarily mean that there can't be multiple truths at once. One answer could be correct at the same time as another answer, and that sometimes looking at the various different options can be more helpful and beneficial to one than just looking into one answer. The next philosopher that we will be discussing today would be Aristotle and his big idea. His first big idea is knowledge is found from studying. To elaborate more onto this big idea is basically that knowledge comes from learning and trying to understand the world around us, and that some knowledge is universal no matter the individual. And the next big idea today will be logic can be used as a form of an argumentative tactic. Alright, so in order to form any argument or any argumentative case, one must first have the ability of logic. Logic is the ability to question anything. In order for you to form these opposing thoughts, you first have to have the ability to question that something is wrong. Ask what, when, why, how something happened in order to form your case. So logic has to play hand in hand with an argumentative tactic. Some similarities between these two philosophers include that they both strongly believe that honors what people need to live a happy life. Aristotle mentions in his text that some individuals choose happiness by choosing honor. In The Allegory of the Cave, written by Plato, this idea is perceived. When the one prisoner is freed, he has a sense of loyalty for his other fellow prisoners who are left in the cave to fend for themselves, who still have this preconceived notion that the shadows are what reality really is. So, because of this loyalty, he goes back to try to free his prisoners, even though he's already been freed himself, because he has honor in saving them and trying to make them realize that there's more to life and what reality really is, and that there's more beyond that cave. So this demonstrates how they both strongly believe that honor is what people need to live a happy life, because that's all they need to be content, just trying to be there for the ones they love. And the next thing is differences. Key differences is perception on life. Plato is more of an idealist, while Aristotle leans more toward realism. And by this we see that the prisoner was freed out of nowhere, and that he just, reality hit him, and he was able to fully adjust to what life was really like. But when we see Aristotle's discussions, he doesn't often portray this idea of idealism. He leans towards more realism and trying to understand human nature as a whole.